I think that like when there's no structure and there's no like offense you got to be in, defense you got to be in, and they all play together in the summer, that this guy's probably like friggin' Carmelo. It seems as if you think that this summer league does matter for some of these guys. You know, we always have to determine when we're watching this, does it matter or not? So let's walk through these. Max Christie. You like Max Christie?
Christie's been absolutely awesome for the Lakers. And I think if you go back to my draft profile of him in 2022 before last year, one of the things, you know, just the headline of him is lanky wing with versatile defensive skills and long-term shooting upside. And with him at Michigan State, he shot under 32% from three, but the flashes are now turning into consistency. He shot over 40% with the G League Lakers last year, over 40% from three with the NBA Lakers with, you know, limited opportunities. And this year in the G League, he's shooting over 50% from three. He's shooting the heck out of the ball on mid-range pull-ups. So that touch that he displayed on layups, floaters from the free throw line is now finally translating. And I think with him at 6'6", with pretty good length, he's added weight to his frame, added muscle to his frame. He looks like the part of a guy who's now ready to be at worst, 15-minute per game player who spots up from behind the arc, who plays tough, hard defense, makes the right smart passes on the floor, and fills the role as a high IQ player who does the minimum 3-and-D style stuff. I think for the Lakers, it's going to be very, very interesting to see after all the signings they made, all the wings they added, even the Cam Reddish types of the world. Is Darvin Ham going to give 20-year-old Max Christie an opportunity to play over some of those veteran players or younger players who still have something to prove, like a Reddish? Because I think he's shown a lot this past year, going back to his time with the South Bay Lakers, and the fact it's now translating at a real high volume. He's averaging over 20 points per game in both summer leagues and this California Classic and in Vegas. He looks tremendous for the Lakers, and that's encouraging for LA because Hood Schifino has not impressed so far. It's been a real rocky summer league for him. Colin Castleton has looked really good for the Lakers as a playmaking big of their young guys, but Max Christie, above all of them, has really impressed me.
You see him in like the KCP role?
Yes, yeah, that's a good
right.
comp. Yeah.
Somebody you could learn from,
like
right?
The KCP.
As you're describing it, that's what I'm thinking about, and kind of how you fit in the Lakers world. It's like don't screw things up.
The Danny Green.
Yeah.
The Danny Green, the KCP, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he, when you mentioned like, will he play over, like if he's good, he'll play over Cam Reddish. I saw the LeBron tweet. I have a theory on Cam Reddish. It's just like, this is forever Rudy Gay. This is Jeff Green. A lot of these guys that are like cut from this cloth that are like that 6'9", crazy athletes. Everything looks the part. My theory is that these guys are absolutely, positively unbelievable at pickup. If you ever talk to basketball players, they all thought Rudy Gay was unbelievable. They all thought Jeff Green was unbelievable. They all love Cam Reddish. I really think that. I think that like when there's no structure and there's no like offense you got to be in, defense you got to be in, and they all play together in the summer, that this guy's probably like friggin' Carmelo, who, by the way, is on other summer, like just killer. But that like Cam Reddish is like, he's cut from that same cloth of these guys that I can only imagine that when they play unstructured, like when they're playing pickup amongst all the NBA guys in the summer, they're just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, Chris, I think for Cam Reddish, the Lakers are going to be very interesting to monitor because think about Max Christie, everything I just said. He had good touch in college. He was not a good three-point shooter. He goes to the Lakers. They put him through their developmental system. He improves as a shooter. Austin Reeves, you can say the same exact thing about. Reeves was, an inconsistent shooter in college. He's become a good, reliable guy from behind the arc in the NBA. With Cam Reddish, that's been the number one thing throughout his career. Going back to college, he's been an 80% plus guy from the free throw line. He has never been a good shooter from three. So how do you translate that consistent success from the free throw line to spot up threes, catch and shoot? If the Lakers can do that with Cam Reddish, he's had his moments where he's been a very good defensive player. He's had his moments as a guy, attacking in a straight line to the basket. If they can make Cam Reddish into a consistent shooter, that could change the trajectory of his career as a high-end role player in this league. Just
but that's
on my mind,
the issue.
In the context of Christie.
That's the issue. And what you brought up with Max Christie is going to understand where I fit in the NBA, and this is how I'm going to have a long career. Guys like Reddish are not. They're not built to be role players. They don't figure out they need to be role players.
I disagree.
I disagree. 8 to 10 years into their career. I promise you, Cam Reddish thinks Chris. He should be one of the best three players on the team. I promise you.
I disagree.
No.
I mean, he at Duke, he took the back seat. He was the third wheel.
He quit at Duke. He literally quit. He quit. That's what he did. He had a great team, and he wasn't one of the top two guys. He was on there with Reddit. He was on there with Zion and RJ, and he literally quit. The day of the game, said, I can't go. When it's the NCAA tournament. Like, don't tell me at Duke. That's exactly what happened.
I'll tell you at Portland. In Portland last year, he had the best stretch of his career, arguably, and at least compared to the Knicks. Took a back seat. I mean, it's not like he was, in the driver's seat for Atlanta earlier in his career either. He's never really gotten an opportunity to be the guy,
and he's never been good. That's my point.
He hasn't been the guy since high school. Yes, and he hasn't been good.
He's never been good because he doesn't know how to be a role player. He'll figure it out in 10 years. That's what happens with these guys.
Might figure it out at age 24 with the Lakers. We'll see what they can do with his jumper.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this is Ben McLemore all over again. Another really talented guy.
Be.
They're
it might be,
kings.
and that's all I'm saying, Chris, is I'm just curious to see if the Lakers, one of the best drafting programs, clearly one of the better player developmental programs, if they can figure something out with Cam Reddish. And if they can't, that doesn't bode well for him as a shooter moving forward in his career.
Now that's fair.